December of 2023, a YouTuber named Heidi uploaded a video titled "Terrifying Encounter in My Tent" to her channel Lil Red Heidi Hood. Her channel primarily documents her love for the great outdoors, featuring content that ranges from wholesome family videos to hunting, fishing, and her camping adventures. In this particular video, Heidi decided to go on a solo hunting trip near her farmhouse in North Carolina. As she began her journey, she ventured deep into the woods to locate a suitable spot where she could set up her tent and begin her hunt. After finding a somewhat stealthy area, she decided to set up her tent and her hunting equipment and patiently waited for her prey. The first few minutes of this segment were quite uneventful. She didn't spot any animals or birds in that area, and simply ate an apple while quietly waiting for any movement or activity. However, as she was scouting her surroundings, she noticed something moving behind the trees, and before she could even process what it was, a black bear suddenly appeared out of nowhere and began approaching her. To Heidi's absolute shock, the black bear unexpectedly emerged from the trees and moved right in front of her tent, which disturbingly had an open blind that she hadn't yet closed. This sudden encounter completely caught Heidi off guard, causing her to freeze and remain motionless. However, as the bear approached her tent and got right in front of her face, Heidi, feeling completely helpless and in a state of pure panic, made a loud noise, hoping to fend off the 500-pound predator.
Oh my gosh, that's insane. That thing was literally like nose to nose with me, and I freaked out and I said boo. Oh my gosh, that was so crazy. I saw him running from like so far away, and he came literally straight to me, and my blind window is like all the way down, and he literally came and like looked in the window like at my face, and he was like making me this I don't know what he was gonna do. I was so scared. I should have probably waited and just seen like what he was gonna do, but man, that was crazy. It's like the only thing I've seen so far, except a million squirrels, but that was crazy.
Fortunately for Heidi, her efforts to quickly jump into action and make a loud noise proved crucial, and ultimately worked in scaring off the bear, who did not return to her location again. She later speculated that the reason behind this encounter could have been that she had just thrown the apple core out of her window, which might have attracted the bear with its scent, and therefore prompted it to come right in front of her tent. But even after this chilling encounter, Heidi surprisingly didn't end her hunting trip and chose to remain inside her tent for the next several hours. Luckily for her, she didn't see the bear during this time and eventually left the area, ending her hunt during the night. Nonetheless, Heidi was incredibly lucky that day that she was able to scare off the bear, and she managed to escape a potentially dangerous situation without sustaining any major injuries. The following footage was uploaded to the YouTube channel Zed Fishing TV in December of 2023. In the video, a man named Zek was fishing in a lake in Seattle when he unexpectedly made one of the most horrifying and heartbreaking discoveries. Zek, who typically documents his personal fishing adventures, had just launched his kayak onto the serene waters, where he was enjoying a fishing trip. After patiently waiting for approximately 30 minutes in the same spot, he unfortunately didn't find any luck in catching fish, so he ultimately decided to relocate to a different area of the lake. As he began paddling forward, his attention was suddenly drawn to an object in the distance that was floating towards him. However, upon closer inspection, the horrifying reality set in. The object was a hand belonging to a submerged body, which protruded from the water's surface. Zek, understandably overcome with shock, froze in place, desperately hoping that this was merely a lifelike mannequin and not a genuine body. With the gravity of the situation quickly becoming apparent, Zek swiftly took action and immediately contacted the appropriate authorities to report the incident.
Alright guys, I already called 911 and someone is gonna come out here and check that out. But that's definitely a body, yo. Unless it's a freaking mannequin, which I hope it is. But alright, they're about to come. So let's go back. The police might be coming to launch a boat. The police? Yeah, they might be coming to launch a boat. It looks like there's a body over there. So I mean, they might bring a boat.
There's a body over there?
It looks like there's a body over there. So the police are coming out and they might be bringing a boat.
Oh, terrible. We gotta go here.
What's up, man? Hey, so you see that red? See that's over there? Okay. You can see it's like a hand kind of grabbing, and like a. You see that red little spot right there? Yeah. Right there. Like straight right there.
The person's on that body. You see that flag? The dock to the next, the right.
Yeah, so you
right,
see that flag?
There's
that dock, and then there's something floating right there.
So you guys, did you see it with your kayak?
Yeah, you can see
Jump in your
it.
kayak?
Oh, you can. Yeah, you can.
Did you see what happened?
No, I just came in. I just started fishing.
And you saw
I was
him
going to a dock, and I stopped there to fish for a little bit. And I was moving, and as soon as I moved, I was trying to cross. I saw something floating, and I see that like a body. I was like, oh, shoot, you know.
Thank you.
So I'm like, man, I told the lady, I don't know if I should get that close.
Now,
I mean, I saw if he was moving, I would have tried to,
yeah,
you know.
so you saw him laying there.
Yeah,
I don't know how long he's been there.
No.
With the situation escalating rapidly, Zek's deepest fears were confirmed when the object he had hoped was merely a mannequin turned out to be a real body. Upon calling the authorities, multiple police units and fire trucks swiftly arrived at the lake to respond to the alarming discovery. Zek, committed to assisting the investigation, allowed the officers to use his kayak and provided the police with the footage he had recorded with his GoPro as crucial evidence, given that this could help shed light on the circumstances surrounding the tragic incident. The officers entered the water and eventually recovered the body, bringing a heartbreaking conclusion to this shocking event. However, Zek also mentioned in his video that, as of now, it remains unclear whether the individual was a fisherman or if another scenario was at play. This is certainly not the kind of discovery anyone would want to encounter during a fishing trip. In light of this tragic event, we can only hope that the family finds peace, and may the individual rest in peace. In September of 2019, a YouTuber named Adam uploaded a chilling video titled, "I Got Hit by a Boat" to his channel, Die Hard Fishing. Adam's channel primarily documents his fishing adventures, featuring content ranging from surf fishing on the beach to fishing from his kayak and his boat. In this particular video, Adam, along with some friends, decided to go on a fishing trip along the California coast. As he began his video, he launched his kayak onto the water and then paddled into the distance to start fishing. After paddling for a while, he stopped his kayak, cast his line, and patiently waited for a fish to bite. During this time, he caught some fish and showed them to his viewers, briefly explaining each one before releasing them back into the water. He then decided to leave that spot and eventually move to a different location. However, as he started to paddle elsewhere, he suddenly noticed another fishing boat moving at an alarming speed, and before he could even react or move, the boat was heading directly towards him.
Hey! patched up. You see that?
Yeah, dude, what the fuck? I was like, dude, look, it's really
I was like, oh, they're gonna turn, and then no, they never did.
The fishing boat that was moving at an extremely high speed forcefully struck the back of the kayak, barely missing Adam. Fortunately, his quick reaction to paddle forward helped him avoid a direct hit, which would have likely caused him to fall into the water and result in some pretty serious injuries. Disturbingly, the fishing boat did not stop after the collision and fled the scene. However, one of Adam's friends, Nick, who was kayaking in front of him, took the initiative to follow the fleeing boat and confronted the individuals involved.
What the? Hey, stop! Hey, you better stop, you coward! You're a coward! We got it all on video! What happened? Yeah, but you didn't stop and you go check if he was okay? You didn't stop! You kept going! And you only stopped because I yelled at you and said it was on camera. What are you teaching those kids, man? That is so bad. You're so wrong, man. You're a disgrace to fishermen. You shouldn't be out here. God, man. That's so bad. You don't even go check on the guy. You run over a kayaker and just keep fishing, huh? I hope you guys have a great day.
When questioned about the incident, the group claimed they did not see Adam's kayak until it was too late to avoid the collision. Nick, who was visibly frustrated by their actions, confronted them about their lack of responsibility, and most importantly, their speed and safety on the water. After this brief but heated exchange, Nick eventually left the group alone and rejoined Adam to ensure his safety. Unfortunately, despite avoiding a more severe accident, the impact caused damage to the kayak, making it difficult for him to steer, and inflicting further structural compromise to the rear end of the kayak. Additionally, some of his equipment was also thrown into the water, but he did manage to retrieve it later. Nevertheless, although Adam's kayak was damaged, he was extremely fortunate that he wasn't physically injured during the collision, as the boat didn't hit him directly, ultimately saving his life and allowing him to avoid a potentially catastrophic outcome.
That was insane. I never thought that would ever happen to me.
It was like this much more. You would have got knocked out.
I just busted it for like a good 5 seconds to at least get out of the way of like the, otherwise it would have just hit me right in the center. Anyway, maybe I'll catch a fish now.
Yeah, dude, go buy a lotto ticket, man.
If you've enjoyed the video so far, it would mean a lot if you considered subscribing. Over 95% of you watching haven't subscribed yet. Your support really helps the channel grow, and in return, I promise to keep bringing you guys the best quality content. Now let's get back to the video. In December of 2023, a YouTuber named Keith uploaded a video titled "Fearing for My Life" to his channel Cora and the Explorer. His channel focuses on outdoor exploration, and he frequently shares footage of his adventures while hiking and camping in various locations throughout Europe. In this particular video, Keith, along with his dog Cora, embarked on an overnight camping trip in the mountains of Paviark in the Lake District of England. As the duo began their video, they started hiking up the terrain to find a suitable location. During the hike, Keith noticed that the weather was worsening and anticipated that a thunderstorm might be approaching them. Nonetheless, he remained optimistic and continued his exploration. After hiking for almost 30 minutes, they eventually arrived at a mountaintop location and decided it was a suitable spot to set up their campsite. This decision was primarily driven by the fact that the weather was indeed getting worse, and a thunderstorm seemed imminent. Recognizing the potential risk of being caught on the mountain during a storm, Keith quickly set up his tent to shield himself from the elements, and then went inside to rest for a while. He eventually lit his stove and began to prepare his dinner. However, the situation soon took an extremely dangerous turn, as the weather started to deteriorate rapidly and the wind ferociously blew around the tent.
And the strong winds, but we'll be right. Wow, this team's getting absolutely battered. I'm so glad I double poled it. Let's hope it stays up. Now this is going on my feet. I might well have my little down booties on, but they're still a bit cold. Oh, right, I'm gonna let my meal soak now, and I'm gonna have a little nip of vanilla flavoured vodka, so we'll see what that's like. Only a little bit though, given the weather, because I don't know if I might have to bail. The wind's really strong at the moment. If it gets any worse, then I'll, hopefully be alright. It's a good 4-season tent, but you never know. It's a tent, it's not a brick house. So. Oh, the wind's really getting up now. It's got really a bit concerned. I have no idea how strong they are, but it's really strong. The tent's getting battered. So hopefully it'll hold up well through the night. These little moments of calm, and then the gusts just start in again. We might have to bail if it gets any worse. Don't want to, we're quite high up and it's a long way down. We'll see how the night takes us anyway. But for now, oh, see you soon.
With the weather worsening by the second, Keith began to grow concerned about his safety and that of his dog, Cora. At one point during the thunderstorm, he put his wind meter outside his tent, and it measured wind speeds of around 70 miles per hour, which is extremely strong and dangerous, especially considering that he was camping on top of a mountain. But despite this, Keith remained confident that his tent would hold up, as he had double-poled it and properly secured all necessary areas to prevent it from being blown away. However, he also acknowledged that he would have to leave abruptly if the wind picked up any more, and the thunderstorm intensified. Unfortunately for Keith, as he had anticipated, the weather continued to deteriorate throughout the night, reaching the point where he couldn't even safely exit the tent and descend the mountain. And all he could do now was hope that the storm would settle down and not compromise the integrity of his shelter.
So I've just put my little wind meter out. I don't know if it's showing, but there you go. It's showing at the highest with the gusts 70 miles an hour. But the tent, as I say, the double poles, it seems okay. Genuinely got me a bit worried now. The wind's unbelievably strong. I'm hoping we don't have to bail because it's a long way down to Langdale. But this is the most worried I've ever been camping. It really is gusting strong now. I'll keep it up to date as we go along, but now it's a worry now, it really is. The weather's still horrendous. It's 5 AM and the tent's just completely getting hammered by the wind. Just waiting for it to get light, and then we're going to pack up and have the treacherous walk down, because it's going to be difficult walking, I think, in this wind. Not bothering making a drink or anything, just going to get off as soon as it's light.
As the night wore on, the thunderstorm continued to grow more violent, and even at 5 AM, the wind still hadn't weakened. By this point, Keith was increasingly worried about their safety, and what they would do if their tent wouldn't hold, or how they would manage to leave if the storm didn't end. However, despite his growing concern, he didn't panic. Instead, he composed himself and remained as calm as possible, waiting for the storm to subside so they could navigate their way down the mountain. Fortunately for the duo, their patience paid off as the weather began to clear, and the wind, which had been blowing fiercely, finally started to die down. With a sigh of relief, they waited for the sun to rise, hoping for sufficient visibility to safely descend the mountain.
Sorry about the light. The wind's reduced, probably. I'm guessing now, because I've packed my wind a meter, or whatever they're called, away. But they've probably gone down, in the night. We were looking at 70 mile an hour. I mean, I did pop my little wind measure out. Incredibly windy. I'd say it's probably down to about, it feels like about 30-40 mile an hour out there now, I think. And I'm just waiting for it to get a little bit lighter. I've packed everything up and I'm all ready. Want it to be light. Don't want to be making my way down in this weather in the dark. So I'll see you when I get outside the tent soon. Just about light. I hope you can see me. Everything's packed up now. We're ready to start making our way down. I can do this without my head torch on. because it's just about light enough, so all's good. Just got to be really careful. But the wind is certainly nowhere nearly as bad as it was last night, but it's still quite blustery and wet. But this is where we were camped here. No trace there. I'll see you when we get a little bit further down and the weather's a bit more hospitable, hopefully. We're going to start making our way down now. Thank goodness the wind's dropped. I really wouldn't have liked walking down in that wind last night, it was so strong. But all good, all good.
Fortunately for Keith and Cora, they managed to escape the thunderstorm and cautiously navigated their way down the mountain. Once they were out of danger and back to safety, Keith noted that he hadn't anticipated the weather would get so severe and was extremely surprised by how the night unfolded. He also mentioned how grateful he was that his tent held up so well and didn't get blown away. In the end, Keith's decision to remain inside the tent, despite the wind ferociously battering it, proved to be crucial and was indeed the right call, as it protected him and Cora from the elements, ensuring their safety throughout the night, and ultimately preventing a potentially dangerous outcome for the duo.